Hey everybody, I am here with you, Rainey at No Idle Hands, and I am currently fighting with my knitting machine. So I just thought I would come on here. It's not any attempt to show you how to use a knitting machine. I'm just frustrated and I need somebody to vent to while I do this. So I decided to hop on live. So this is about the third time that I have started over. I'm actually in the process of frogging right now. So I went out and I bought some yarn today to make some more hats because I'm doing the hats for the homeless. Let's see here. And let's see. So I occasionally get a skein of yarn that just does not want to work on this. And I think it's just the yarn. I don't think it's me. Because I had, if you've been watching me for any length of time, you've seen the pink camo hat that I did. That yarn was a booger. But, once I got past the pink camo part and I got onto the gray parts, it was fine. So I'm firmly convinced it is the yarn. And I'm not going to let this yarn win because I bought this specifically for a purpose. So, and it matches so well with the other yarns that I bought. So I am kind of fond of doing these 3-colored double knit hats on my knitting machine. I have a Centro. And so I apologize if there's anybody out there trying to talk to me. Last live I had someone was trying to talk to me in the chat and I just didn't see it. So I'm watching my chat while I'm sitting here ripping. That's why they call it frogging, by the way, in case you were wondering, because you rip it, like a frog, ribbits. So you rip it. So I am frogging away. I'm not tinking, which is 1 stitch at a time. I am just out and out yanking this sucker clean. Yeah. So I'm almost back to the waist yarn. What a mess. And I can't believe I have spent all day on this. I went shopping at, I don't know, 10 o'clock this morning, whatever. Which, by the way, I got the yarn on sale at Joann's. Red Heart Super Saver and Red Heart Super Saver Agos. They are on sale right now, $3.79 at Joann's. So I didn't get a whole lot. I just got 3 colors that will make probably 2 or 3 hats and maybe some to play with on my scrap afghan that I've got going. So, yeah. And then I also went to Michael's and got some yarn there, but that wasn't on sale. I just got their cheapo stuff, the Craft Saver or whatever. I like that yarn. It usually does fairly well. Except for that pink camo yarn came from, it was that Craft Smart stuff. And it didn't, but I mean, the other Craft Smart yarn has worked well. So, and then my waist yarn is also Craft Smart, which I haven't had any issues with it either. So, all right, I'm back to the beginning. I think this time I'm going to start with the brown and see if the brown gives me as much fits. I don't know if I've used Red Heart with the knitting machine so far. Maybe I have. I don't know. So anyway, I'm just here doing my thing. Let me move my cup out. So how's your day been? I mean, mine's been good, other than, and it's frustrating. And I could just say, I don't want to deal with this, but I've never been one to let something beat me. So I'm thinking maybe, I don't know. I just don't know. Oh, so here we go. Casting on. Over and under and over and under and over and under all the way around. And you guys don't have a real good shot of the, I may turn you guys more sideways, but then you can't really see me. There we go. Well, that's about as good as we're going to get. So I think what the problem is, and I narrowed it down to the last try, is that my loops aren't going all the way down. It's like the yarn is sticky or something, and it's not going all the way down. All right. Okay. Yarn in there. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the hats for the homeless in case you guys are interested. I kind of have mentioned it on and off throughout, but I'm sorry, I can't look at that like that. The hats for the homeless. Here in Bangor, there's a large homeless population, and so I've been making hats on and off through the summer to for the homeless people. That's not cool. See, there we go. I got to start over again. I must have missed something when I was. So anyway, there's the hats for the homeless. There's a large homeless population, and so I'm just doing my part. At first, I was knitting them by hand, and it was taking me forever. Well, not forever, but longer than I would have liked, because I really had set a goal for myself to do 2 hats a week, and I wasn't meeting my goal. And so for my birthday, I got a knitting machine from my sister, and I've been playing with it. I've done a couple hats for myself just because, I wanted to check it out and see, make sure, because there are some guidelines. I mean, you don't just take anything for the hats for the homeless. They have to be warm, and they can't have a lot of holes in them. They can't have big holes in it. And so, as much as I like crocheting, you've got to pretty much do like a half double or a single type of hat, because too big of holes, and it lets the air in, and it doesn't keep them warm. And so, I've not lived through a Bangor winter yet, but I've heard it gets kind of cold here. And so I want the warmest thing that I could possibly make for these folks, so that they stay warm. I haven't really done anything else. I haven't made any mittens or socks or, any scarves or anything like that. I've just been focusing on the hats. And so, but I did learn how to make some mittens on the knitting machine, so that, they're fingerless, but still you can layer the fingerless mittens over regular mittens. But I've just not made any. I'm still working on the hats, and I was going to finish up that last little bit of the pink camo to make some gloves, and I finally just said, and I'm using it elsewhere. Never fear, I never throw yarn away. I'm even in the process of making a scrap afghan out of just little tails like this big. So, there's no such thing as wasting yarn. No such thing at all as wasting yarn. Okay, so I'm going to do a couple more rounds here of this. I think I'm going to do 5 rounds this time instead of just the 3 that I normally do. Maybe that'll help something. And I think I'll start with the brown instead of the green, because I have 3 colors. I like to showcase a variegated, which Red Heart, not sponsored, but I would like to be someday, because it was my mom's favorite yarn. And then I've got, that one is Aspen Print. Then I've got Tea Leaf. This is the one that's giving me the trouble. And I've got Cafe Latte. And, I do the first third. I divide the hat in 3s. And for an adult hat, I do 37 rounds of each one. And then I cast it off together and tie it shut. And it makes a reversible hat, but it makes a nice warm hat too. So, so yeah, I've had this thing a little over a month, and I've cranked out a lot of hats. And that's how I've come to the determination that it's just gotta be the yarn. It's gotta be the yarn. I'm just throwing things everywhere. Because I keep my scrap yarn in a little cup so it doesn't go everywhere. And it doesn't get all tangled up. Let's see. Back to... The only thing is it just keeps tipping over. But it won't once I get done using it. Okay. So then I also keep all my supplies in it too. Like my needles and scissors and stuff. So I always know where it's at. And then I just set it off in the middle there. So everything doesn't get all twisted up. All right, so, well, here's crossing our fingers. I'm going to try some of the brown now. I'm going to have an unholy mess if this doesn't work, because I'm going to have, I have my frogged skein over here that's just like hanging out on the table. So I'm going to have lots of yarn that's like totally unraveled if this doesn't work. All right. I'm just getting my end ready here. So, I mean, I'm sorry out there. I'm not seeing any comments. I've got my chat open, and maybe there's just nobody out there with me. So, again, I apologize if you're out there and you're typing away and I'm not saying a word to you. And so I've heard that you have to go slow when you're changing colors, and I'm watching it to make sure. But this doesn't feel like it's pulling as much. I mean, it doesn't feel... The other one just felt tight and like it was pulling a lot. Reset my counter. And of course, you know, it's not going to misbehave because we're, you know, on YouTube, and, you know, it's just not going to misbehave because it's got to be on its best behavior for the audience. You know, oh, mom's on TV. We got to behave now. So. All right. Well, I made the first round around with no problems. Yeah, whoever said you could just crank away with these things and not pay attention, no. You've got to pay attention because that's how stitches get dropped. Of course, it doesn't really matter because I try to fix them and I just end up with a worse mess than before. So I just try to pay attention so I can just frog the whole thing if I drop a stitch. Because, I mean, I've tried fixing, and it just seems like I end up dropping more of them. But it does make a hat really quick if everything goes the way it's supposed to. I can make like 2 or 3 hats in a day versus like a month that it makes me to take a regular hat. So, yeah, this is not nearly as bad so far. It's like it was too tight. I mean, like I couldn't, my handle would pop. Like it was just taking too much to make it turn. So I'm already 4 rounds in on my brown. Maybe I should have just started with the brown. I don't know. We'll see when I come back to the green what happens. And, you know, it's not like I pull it straight from the skein. I like pull some out. That's what I was doing when I started. I've got like a little bit on the floor there. I pull out like a little bit. So there's not as much pull on the yarn. Because, yeah, you try pulling out yarn. I mean, it's just like when you're first working it and you got to go like this to get it out. Of course, if I went from the outside in, it probably wouldn't do that. But it would just roll all over the floor. Then I'm a work from the inside out kind of person. A center pull person, if you will. So yes, I'm working diligently at this to try to figure out why stitches get dropped so I can share it with everybody. I'd like to, make a video on that, on how to fix drop stitches before they get dropped. Because if you're like me and you can't fix them after they get dropped, well, it's just trying to get things fixed before it gets to that point where you have to fix it. But I mean, you can only fix so many things before you just say, no, maybe I better start over because this is starting to look a little wonky. Because I don't even know how to fix it correctly. I mean, I don't know. Woohoo! I'm up to 8, guys. I may actually have this whole thing done. Sorry, I don't have the Rona. Not that you guys are exposed to my coughing or anything. I just got a tickle in my throat. So apparently Maine goes through pollen alerts twice a year, as we're under a pollen alert again. And so usually I don't have issues with my allergies twice a year. I mean, I have allergies all year round. Don't get me wrong there, but usually it's the absolute worst in spring when everything starts blooming. Well, I guess stuff. See, there we go. It just popped. Okay. Usually I just have the most issue in the springtime. So we'll see how bad my allergies get in the fall. And I'm going to kind of stop here for a second and just make sure I haven't dropped anything. So if you still want to send me some hats for the homeless, I'll be here through September. You can email me. I'll put that in the description box once I get this video all done. I will do that. That way, you can email me and I can send you my address. I don't really want to post my address, just for the simple fact if somebody goes to mail me something and I'm not here, I'm not sure I'll get it. So, if hopefully people watching this will take the clues when I say I'll only be here through September, please email me first and I will give you the correct address to mail it to, or whatever. But yeah. And I think as far as my Happy Mail, I'm going to start putting Happy Mail on my as my Missouri address, because someone will always be collecting my mail there and sending it on to me, no matter where I'm at. Because as long as I'm traveling, it's my tax home. It's a great stuff. Travel nursing is quite complicated. But you have to have a tax home. Well, you don't have to, but life is a lot easier if you have a tax home. And Missouri will be my tax home until I decide to move on from there. So, but it goes for the stipends and stuff like that. And, and that the stipend money makes housing a lot easier and all of that. It's just tax-free money. They pay you to live. So, which right now, I mean, we're doing pretty good with the stipends. It meets the living cost here, but my pay is getting ridiculously low. Let's put it that way. If it weren't for stipends, we still wouldn't be here. So, because I guess that is a nationwide thing now, is that travel nurses are not getting paid that much, or at least I must be working for the wrong company. If you're a travel nurse and watching this, email me. Let me know what your company's paying you. But at the same time, I kind of feel like I shouldn't be paid any more than regular staff nurses as far as hourly pay, because I don't feel like I should have to gouge the hospital. you know, if regular nurses are only making $30 an hour, then so should I, but then add my stipends in on top of it. So, you know, because it's just like if I were living at home and working in Arkansas or Missouri, I would have to, you know, I would be paying my bills there. And so I actually have two sets of bills since I travel. I have my current house and my other house that I have to maintain. So, you know, the stipends kind of make it fair. And then I can still pay the bills at home with my hourly rate. So, anyway, enough about travel nursing. Because y'all got on here to see me play with my knitting machine, which, sure enough, I turned the camera on and it's behaving beautifully. Getting a nice little brim going on here. And like I say, usually what I do is I just do my waist yarn first. I do typically only 3 rounds because that's the less I have to take out afterward. And then I do 37 rows of one color, 37 rows of another color, and 37 rows of the following. I think that's right. Do I do 36 or 37? Better do that right quick before I get too far. Let's see. This is me playing on my calculator here. 37 times 3. No, that's 111. I only do 36. 36 rows. Because that puts it under 110. Now, if I'm just doing one color all the way through, 110 rows. I mean, a couple of rows doesn't make a huge bit of difference. But, you know, we don't want it too big or too small. And I just absolutely love this thing. I'm in love with my knitting machine. I want to get one of the smaller ones. I would really love to get an Addy. I don't know as it would work any better, but I'm hoping maybe it would be just a little bit smoother and a little less noisy. Who knows? And so, what's in my cup? You saw me take a drink, and I'm going to take another drink. My lovely China teacup. See my bulldog there? That's my Jethro in heaven there. I got this China teacup at Bar Harbor at I think it was Bar Harbor Tea Company. And today I'm drinking vanilla chai that I got in Waterbury, Vermont. And I've got sugar in it, chai sugar from Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So that is just the whole traveler cup of tea there. That's something I haven't talked to you guys about. And I think I might have mentioned it, but we found a nice little tea shop in Portsmouth. And they've got the most wonderful selection of tea. But they also have flavored sugar, like chai sugar, pumpkin pie sugar, apple pie sugar. I mean, there was just like a whole mix of sugars that you could add to your tea. And I'm kind of like, whoa, I've got flavored tea and flavored sugar, and it's just too much sometimes. And then there's also honey. They have flavored honey. So sometimes you just need a good cup of green or white or black tea and just flavor it up. So whoops. My yarn just came out of the guide. That's what that noise was. So I think my favorite tea that I got when we were in Portsmouth was a green tea, and it was called Sinfully Cherry. It's got rose and cherry in it, and yeah, it's good stuff. But then again, I like rose. I like the scent of rose. I like the taste of rose. I just like roses. I don't know. I can't grow them, so I might as well drink them and wear the scent of them. I never used to like roses. I don't know, what's up with that. All right, we are coming up on 30. I just passed 32, so I'm going to be changing colors there before long. So So this may be a brown hat. Well, brown and variegated hat. But I like to do that variegated in the brim because it gives it like a brim look. In the double hat, in the double knit hat, you don't really get a brim because the whole thing is just like one big tube. And here we go. Here is 34. Gotta pay attention because I don't want to go over. $35. One more spin around. Oh, I've got one person watching. Yay, it only took 25 minutes. Oh, and then they're gone. Dang. Oh, well, it was nice to see you, whoever you were. Hope you come back. I've been doing this for like 25 minutes now. All right, so here we are at 48. I'm going to cut my thread, cut my yarn. And now I'm going to go for the, well, I used almost all of that. I'm going to neaten this up first because I can't have yarn everywhere. I mean, it's not that Shadow plays with it. He doesn't. He just walks through it and then tracks it. And, oh, that was such a mess when I had the camo yarn because I was just like frogging it out on the floor by the table and he walked through it and drug it and it was a mess. All right. There, got that one. And, okay, so where's the end? Not to mention that green one, the green yarn had a funny smell to it also. I mean, ordinarily yarn doesn't have a smell. I mean, this yarn doesn't have a smell because it's acrylic. But, see, I just pull out the center part like this. And then I pull out a fair length to get started. And usually a little bit of yarn barf comes out. So, all right, so then I have to take this out here. And I don't tie it too tight. I just tie it enough on the first round just to get it around. And make sure it goes under. Let's see if we have any trouble with this yarn. Give this a quick stretch. And see. Make sure nothing is. I don't see any drop stitches that I missed or anything. Okay. All right. Ooh, this is going to be a pretty hat. You know, and I thought about doing some kind of a thing where, you know, on my Etsy shop, you know, for every person who buys a hat, I'll donate one, you know, kind of like a promotion kind of thing. Donate one to hats for the homeless. But you know what? I'm already making them for hats for the homeless. So I feel like that would just be a gimmick and it would be kind of dishonest. So I'm not going to. Although I would really appreciate it if someone wants to buy a hat. Any of the hats that you've seen on my channel are for sale. They're just not posted on my Etsy account. Let's see right there. I don't know if I can do this enough. Okay, so I got that one pulled back out. There we go. Okay, I think I got it. All right, and make sure. Okay, so, and I found that it's easier when I'm trying to fix this. I found that it's easier to do, it's easier to fix variegated because I know which one to pop over the top and which one to leave down, because sometimes it like takes two at once and you have two at once. Make sure everybody's still where they belong. Yep. All right. Awesome. Awesome. Reset my counter because I don't want to do the math today. But yeah, I mean, sometimes, you know, I don't know. I like to do things charity wise, because I know that's what my mom would do. She used to do a lot for charity. She would, anytime anybody needed anything, she would be right there and, you know, working away for, well, you know, whatever, for whomever, whatever needed, for whatever the cause was, she was there. And she was always doing things for the holidays. And she would make little pins and little angels. And she was always big on hats and mittens and afghans. Afghans were her thing. That was her jam. She loved to make people afghans. She wanted to make sure people were warm. And so I'm trying to keep that alive with the no idle hands, you know, because her hands were never idle. She would even crochet in her sleep. I'd be looking over and her eyes would be shut and she'd be just crocheting away. Not to say I haven't done that a time or two, but usually my hands stop before I go to sleep. Because I know I'm going to sleep and I put my hook in it so I don't lose it. Or I put my needle points on my knitting needles so I don't lose my stitches. Maybe that's the difference between me and my mom. Maybe I trained myself because I'm more of a knitter than she was. And I hate dropping stitches. I hate it. I hate it with a passion, especially hand knitting. Don't even talk to me. I mean, I'm like, There's nothing worse than dropping a knit stitch. It's just, I will say I am going to miss Bangor and the fact that I have a Michael's, a Hobby Lobby, and a Joann like in 5 minutes of a drive time. Back in Missouri, I have to drive 45 minutes to get there. And it's not that I don't like Walmart yarn. I do. It has its place. But I have enjoyed so much my Michael's. And I never used to like Michael's that much. In Missouri, I don't like Michael's, or I didn't like Michael's. But then here, it's like I found the value yarn, and they've had some pretty good deals. I mean, but, you know, like in Missouri, it was just whenever we went to Joplin to get, you know, whatever, we would make a trip in. And if they didn't have anything on sale, they didn't have anything on sale. And if you know anything about me, I hate buying full price yarn. I hate it. I have so much yarn anyway. Why should I pay full price for something, you know, unless it's something I just truly, truly like. And so I don't know. I think yarn is extremely insane. It's like, wow. But as one who can spin yarn, I mean, but that's different. That's hand spun yarn. But no, when we were in, I'll see now we're having trouble. What's going on here? Okay, so you need to come over like so. There we go. Okay. So when we were in Vermont, I bought some yarn. I splurged. I bought yarn. Didn't think about it. I just was like, ooh, that's pretty and that's pretty. And I want to make this pattern. So I need these two and da 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 da. I bought 2 skeins of yarn and a pattern. Now, granted, there is a lot more yarn than I will ever use for that hat, but still, it was over $50 to buy just the yarn and the pattern. The pattern was only $6. So you figure out the math on the 2 skeins of yarn. Now, bear in mind, it was a local dyer. Well, local-ish. It was New Hampshire dyer. And it's, small business, but still, that was some expensive yarn. So anyway, I will enjoy that hat once I get it made. And hopefully you'll be seeing it before long. But I don't have the knitting needles to do it right now because it's like really fine sock weight yarn and I need a 1 and a 2 and all I have is my sock needles and no. I'm all about making my knitting life easier. So I want what I want to make the hat. Okay. Well, I guess whatever it was, it's spoke too soon. Worked its way out, maybe. All right, now then, while I'm thinking of it, I'm going to go ahead and double tie this knot. Because I don't want it to come loose. Another great thing about these double knitted hats is you don't have to worry about the ends because everything's all inside the hat. Okay, let me pull this down just a little bit. Oh, I dropped a stitch. Dang it. Oh, I'm so mad. Well, so 37 minutes into this, I have dropped a stitch. I'm all the way through the brown. And about 4 rows into the variegated, and I dropped one and I didn't even see it. So anyway, oh, I've got 1 viewer. Great, just in time to see me drop a stitch. How lovely. I'm going to try really hard to go over there and not make it any worse. So if anybody has any tips, oh, well, and then they're gone. I love lives. I love them. Okay. Let me get my crochet hook out for this. I think we left-handers have everything difficult in life because everything is just so backwards to us. Just like me trying to fix this is like totally backwards. I'm actually going to back this up just a skosh to right there. Okay, got that. So it's been great chatting with y'all. Not that anybody's out there chatting with me. Or at least I don't think they are. Hold on one second. I've got all this technology at my hands. Let me do something here. Well, Nope, I guess they didn't leave me. I was just looking to see because, like I said, last time somebody was trying to type in chat with me. Nope, I guess they didn't leave me. I was just looking to see because, like I said, last time somebody was trying to delay. delay. Well, I may end up frogging this. I don't know. I'm still trying to fix it. I'm going to invent a pattern. So when I drop a stitch, it's going to be just fine. And I'm just going to, it's just going to be fine. Okay. Almost back there. Come on, you thing. Sorry, you can't really see what's going on here. I'm just trying to pick up the drop stitches, and I had like 5 rows of drop stitches. And then now I'm all the way back up to the knitting machine, trying to get it off the machine. Because I'm trying to learn how to fix things rather than frog them. But sometimes frogging is just a lot easier and time saving rather than the time it takes to fix something. Okay, so I got to put that back over there. Oh, maybe. Do this. Use my pick. Okay, so we'll see. I got everything all back where it should be. That took me almost 37, 6, 8, about 8 minutes to fix that. So, wow. Okay. Now let's see. Okay. I think I might have gotten it successfully for the first time on YouTube. Any other time I've tried to do that, it's not worked. But like I said, I am getting more familiar with how this thing works, and I am trying really hard to fix things rather than frog them because, well, and still, if anything needs any kind of quality work, it's going to be hand knit because, I mean, if it's, if somebody's paying a lot of money for it, I'm definitely going to hand knit it. Because they don't need to have little, and that's not to say that this isn't quality. There will not be any holes or any drop stitches in it if I give it to charity. It will still be a quality item. It will just be less perfect, I guess would be the word. Because anybody who knows me knows that when I make something for somebody, it has to be perfect plus some. And if it does have a flaw in it, you will never find it. Because I believe in perfection for my customers. So, all right. Well, now that I've gotten over that scary little hump, can't believe I'm only 5 rows in. It feels like I've been on this one forever. Feels like I should be like 20 rows into this variegated. See, I wish I understood why it does that. Right there. Because I'm going to have another one right there. So let's see, this one's got to come out. Why does it do that? Can anybody on YouTube tell me why 2 stitches stay on there at once? I mean, I understand that it doesn't slide down there, you know, but why does it do that? Is it, you know, it's like I try pulling on stuff, you know, to make sure that it's down where it belongs. And that's good to know I got no more drop stitches, because it would have just went just down like that, as hard as I was pulling on it. I mean, it's just like it doesn't want to slide down the whole little peg or whatever. So, well, okay, so I'm going to get off here. It's been 47 minutes. I think I've yacked at y'all for long enough. If you have any suggestions or comments on how I can alleviate this, or if I need to invest in a better machine. I mean, I like this one. It's cool. Please leave me some comments. You don't have to watch this whole thing. Just skim through it. Give me some watch time. Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. It's been a pleasure hanging out with you again today. I posted my vlog just a little bit ago, but I thought I might as well get on here and chit chat for 47 minutes about playing with my machine. So it's been fun. I'll catch you on the next video.